Hi, my name's Casey, and I will be doing my case study on a client who is suffering from PTSD. He is a war veteran who has done 4 tours overseas. He's been to Iraq and Afghanistan, and he was the gunner, and what that is he's the person that rides on top of the Humvees when they go out to complete missions. So he would be on top with the gun, looking for enemies that he would have to shoot. So during his time, he has seen a lot of different traumatic combat events. 2 of his occasions when he was out on the Humvee, it hit an IED, which is an explosive. Basically, they ran over a bomb and the Humvee was blown up. The first time that this happened, he was fine, and so was everybody on his Humvee that he was riding on. And then the second time, unfortunately, he wasn't as lucky. Well, he was very lucky, but not all of the men that were on his Humvee were as lucky. He was the only survivor in the event, and he watched all of his team die in front of him. So he is presenting with extreme PTSD. He has really bad flashbacks and nightmares, and he's pretty much withdrawn from everything that he has known and loved before he left for war. He's no longer in the military. He got out because his PTSD symptoms were so severe. Currently, he is living in Texas with his girlfriend, and he's living the lifestyle, like the nightlife. He goes out, he drinks a lot, he parties a lot, and he's just not really, he doesn't have a job, and he got a severance package from the military, which is how he is able to pay his bills and that sort of thing. He's originally from North Carolina, and he grew up with his mother, and they are not speaking at this point. He has not gone back or contacted her. He recently has went to the Department of Veteran Affairs to try to get some assistance because he is aware that the PTSD that he's suffering from is greatly impacting his life, and he wants help with this. So the intervention style that we'll be using is cognitive behavioral therapy. This type of therapy has shown great successes with people who are suffering from PTSD. And he will be, he's going to be working with a therapist. And what's good about this type of therapy is there is an endpoint of it. Each group the average is about 12 therapy sessions to where they can find ways to manage their symptoms of PTSD. The major goal is going to be to manage the symptoms that he has from these traumatic events that he saw when he was overseas. We really want to get a handle on his flashbacks and how he can cope with his flashbacks when they do come up. And another goal is to help with the night terrors and find ways that we can, recover from this trauma that he has suffered. And he hopes that, being able to manage these symptoms, that he will be able to move forward and have positive relationships with his family, and he will, get more stabilized and find himself a job and better at functioning in society. So we will be doing a role play for about 10 minutes of a therapy session with this client. And together we will assign homework assignments. We will talk about the homework assignments that we will be working on. And we will, one of the major steps of this is going through the events over and over, which desensitizes the symptoms and the trauma that they did experience. So we will be doing that as well. And this can be challenging and difficult for clients, but it has proven to desensitize them to the trauma. So he will definitely be having to come to terms with the trauma and express it out loud. And he will be able to deal with his guilt that he is experiencing, that he was the only survivor of the IED explosion. So hopefully together we will be able to work through this, and he will be able to become happier and less depressed and have less anxiety, because he's constantly feeling anxious. Whether he sees a fast moving vehicle, loud noises, anything like that, he's really jumpy and has very short temper. And yeah, so those are the things that we'll be working on through cognitive behavioral therapy. Thank you.